Flow Show, no filter. Back for another crazy episode. Let's get this thing started. YouTube is tripping a little bit, but we're going to work through it. Notifications ain't going out, but hey, let's give everybody a chance to get going. We got a good show today, a lot to talk about, and I'm feeling good. One.
Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no Diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. I don't know why it's not letting me put the chat over here today. We have a little technical difficulties on that, but don't worry, y'all. We got to see the chat in regular form. I don't know why it's not showing up on the screen, but we're not going to let that stop us, are we now? How's everybody feeling? Good morning. I see Angelina, Enoch, Island, Grandma Kathy, Denise, Sherry, Tabitha. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing today? Grandma Kathy, how's your football team looking? How's everybody football team looking? Any Steelers fans crying today? Because your Houston Texans put belt to ass last night. Pittsburgh Steelers. I watched most of the game and shit. They put belt to ass to me because I fell asleep on the rest of it. Other than that, y'all, I hope everybody feeling good. I'm definitely feeling good. Grandma Kathy says Seattle going to the Super Bowl. Okay, Grandma Kathy. Okay, Grandma Kathy. Grandma Kathy said they going to the Super Bowl. Lindsay said go Bears. Everybody put a nice little root for your team in the chat real quick. I want to see what teams we still got left in the playoffs that y'all rooting for. Before we get into this Diddy mess, L.A. Reid, we got another person that the rumor going around that they got the Diddy pneumonia. We're going to talk about that. Don't let me forget. We got to uncover some shit today. So put your thinking caps on. And we got a lot to talk about. Good luck for tomorrow. Oh, yeah, everybody. Prayers for Grandma Kathy tomorrow. She got the hip replacement. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So Grandma Kathy, they're gonna be putting her a new hip on. She's gonna be watching her Seattle Seahawks jumping up and down in that new hip as they play the Super Bowl. Shout out to Grandma Kathy. Angelina says she's excited for all the games this weekend. Yeah, ain't nothing like watching football when everybody cared what's going on. Good morning, Elise. Come on in. Come on through the door. Come on through the door. Come on through the door. Yeah, I've been still, we in my Browns, we still in next year mode. So we looking for a coach, and we might get Harbaugh and all this other thing. Who knows, man? But shout out to the teams that's still in the playoffs, enjoying this y'all season is still going and going strong. Yep, you're gonna be brand new, Kathy. And if we have any brand new people catching the live, make sure you announce yourself so we can give you a warm welcome. We always like when somebody new is able to come into the live and they say, "It's my first time catching the Flow Show, No Filter live. I love it." So don't be shy. If it's your first time, come on in the chat, man. We got a lot to talk about. Okay, first of all, I got a correction. I always, if it's something I got wrong or a mistake I made, I want to definitely come to y'all and let y'all know, because we don't do nothing but bring the truth, and we make sure that our facts are together. So when we were talking about the LA Reid thing, remember I kept this the other day, I think it was like last week, I was discussing the LA Reid, and I said, ain't none of these publications saying if this is criminal or civil. So I Googled it, and the Google AI, which is like ChatGPT, for some reason, while we were live on air, said that it was criminal. I'm not thinking Google AI gonna lie, and Google AI went to break it down. Come to find out, my apologies, y'all, the case was civil. And another thing about this case is that I've been reading more research. First of all them old school like Shade Room and all hip hop, a lot of the old school publications, because LA Reid has a lot of ties to those. That's why a lot of this coverage of that sexual assault case has been hard to find information. They definitely been keeping it under wraps as a favor to LA Reid. But again, so Google AI, while we were live on air, told me that it was criminal. Turns out it was civil. My bad. Yeah, they came to an agreement. We're going to talk about it. And this is going to be, this LA Reid, remember there's a Diddy connection. This LA Reid thing is connected to Diddy. Diddy and LA Reid are almost one and the same. And LA Reid waited to the very, very, very last second to settle with Drew Dixon. Good morning, Enigma. LA Reid waited to the very last second to settle this case. He knew they had him dead to rights. The judge already said it's been found out that you were deleting text messages. Drew Dixon, do y'all realize? We might have to go back. Do y'all realize what Drew Dixon, now that he is settled, which is basically admitting guilt? I need to go back we need to go back and fill you in on what actually went on. Drew Dixon, L.A. Reid, find me an old article about what lawsuit Drew Dixon filed. Something from at least a month ago or more. We got to go into what, because now that he basically, oh yeah, I got him. Somebody said I need to have a one-on-one. This lawsuit listen to this. Listen to what this lawsuit is about. This lawsuit, she was suing him for sexual battery. False imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and violations under New York Gender Motivated Violence Act. Let's go to this one. It's from the Source magazine. This is what was going on and what he basically admitted to by settling at the last second. Okay, hey y'all, everybody say what's up to Johnny Gonzalez. He said this is first time catching a live. He said, my first time, you are indeed real. Everybody, say what's up to Johnny Gonzalez and give him a warm welcome. Let him know we got the coolest chat online, the coolest community on every social media or every app you can think of. It's the Flow community. No community like the Flow community. That's we got a lot of sayings, but I like it's no community like the Flow community. Yeah, I chat with 50 Cent. Yeah, I've had a lot of talks with 50 Cent. Not recently, but in my lifetime, yes, I definitely had a lot of chats with 50 Cent. So check this out. Dixon, who worked at Arista Records under Reid's leadership around 20 years ago, accused the veteran music executive of sexual assaulting her twice during her tenure at the label. Her lawsuit alleges sexual battery and assault, false imprisonment, intentional to inflict emotional distress, amongst other things. Reid tried to get this case dismissed. However, judge found that the claims of false imprisonment and intentional infliction of emotional distress are not barred from the statute of limitations. Drew Dixon's lawsuit brings to light allegations that have lingered in the shadows of the music industry for decades. Dixon has been vocal about all this sexual assault and false imprisonment. Everybody say what's up to Kick 9, saying my first time as well. Say what's up. But check this out, y'all. I only had to rehash what actually went on so y'all can know the gravity of the situation. L.A. Reid waited to the very last second. They were doing jury selection. And he paid out a settlement to Drew Dixon. Now, of course, initially they always keep it confidential, but we will find out how much money he paid Drew Dixon. And just like the Cassie situation with Diddy, all L.A. Reid just did was open the damn floodgates. Oh, he had to settle because he knew he was guilty as fuck. But in settling, what he has now done is opened up the floodgates from any and everybody who he's ever done this crap to is about to come out of the woodwork. Mark my words. They tried to keep this as quiet as possible, but it ain't working. See, for years, they controlled the media. This is why their asses is getting caught up nowadays. Because it's 50, I would be generous and say 50% of the media they can't control. And I'm being conservative, it might be higher. But people like me, Tisa Tells, Ticket TV, Tough News, all the different blogs and all the different media outlets, excuse me, they can't control it no more. And this is what getting their ass caught up. See, if this was 20 years ago, no media, you wouldn't hear about it because there were only about 3 or 4 media outlets that controlled all of media. And as long as you had ties with them and could kick them a couple dollars, you never had to worry about your shit really coming out. But we live in a different time now. And L.A. Reid is understanding that now. But, he thinks that settlement ended things. That settlement just poured gasoline on a fire. Mark my words, there are going to be more women, maybe men, I don't know, but more people that's going to come out and say that L.A. Reid did this to me as well. A leopard don't change his spots, or whatever the saying says. Keek 9 says, thanks for the love. He just opened the floodgates. And then I'm going to be honest. Have y'all dove into actually who Drew Dixon is? Who her mother is? Who her children are? That right there will tell you that L.A. Reid was in big trouble. Drew Dixon, one of the leaders, and some people are saying is the leader in the Me Too movement. But it gets even more dangerous for people like L.A. Reid and the rest of the perverts and the Diddy it's out there. Maybe it was Tisa Tell, somebody said, and I saw her mother speak yesterday, said her mother was like the first Black mayor of some town, some area. I didn't get the exact, but just the fact that her mother was the first Black mayor or a Black female mayor, something. But not only that, when her mother spoke yesterday, she spoke so well, so eloquently, with such intelligence and grace. I said, oh, hell no, L.A. Reid, you fucked with the wrong one. Drew Dixon, one of her kids or something, is in Harvard. One of Drew Dixon's kids is in Harvard right now. Mother, first Black mayor, speak like a Rhodes Scholar. I mean, they all speak like Rhodes Scholars. L.A. Reid sexually assaulted the wrong one here. They ain't lying. Enoch says she also produced songs. Yeah, she's a hell of a musician. But when I watched Drew Dixon and her mother speak after getting the settlement, I said, ain't no way in hell they were lying. I don't care what nobody say. That is a together family. I could listen to her mother speak for hours. She spoke so well and so just you could tell she's highly educated, knows exactly what she's trying to say. I mean, I was impressed. And it showed me further why, it showed me more why in the hell L.A. Reid, first of all, had to settle. Because this woman ain't made this shit up. This is an upstanding family. And I stand 10 toes down on that. If you didn't see, look it up on YouTube or look it up on Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Look at Drew Dixon and her mother speak after the settlement. Man, you're going to be like, yeah. L.A. Reid messed with the wrong one right here. This ain't, I don't think he knew. He overplayed his hand, and it's going to cost him because there are going to be more lawsuits coming towards L.A. Reid. You can mark my word, write it down, take it to the bank and cash it. This ain't it. Hey, Corvette girl. Glad to see you in the chat. But back to the settlement. Let's go into who settled, what happened, and the particulars. This is a brand new article. But y'all, L.A. Reid messed with the wrong one, and he about to get more lawsuits are coming. He ain't gonna be able to pay everybody off. Hollywood Reporter, L.A. Reid settled sexual assault lawsuit from former Arista Records exec averting trial. Drew Dixon accused Reid of sexual assault and forcing her out of the industry. With the deal, the mogul avoids a trial in which John Legend was set to testify. Antonio L.A. Reid, a Grammy-winning music executive known for helping launch the careers of Usher, Outkast, and Pink. Let me pause for a second. Thank you for the $10 super chat. If I give you $20 more and I can get me, I can go out and get me some tacos and a margarita. Thank you so much, Corvette girl. She says, hi, my brother. Hello. I appreciate the $10 holla. Can we get 20 more? So I can go to the taco spot later on, get a margarita and a couple tacos. Thank you so much, Corvette girl. I appreciate it. Let's get back to this article. Antonio L.A. Reid. Now, terms of this last-minute settlement reached on Monday ahead of start of jury selection and opening statements weren't disclosed. Mr. Reid has amicably resolved this matter with Ms. Dixon without any admission of liability. Imran, a lawyer for the mogul, said in a statement. You can say Mr. Reid has amicably resolved this matter without any admission of liability, but them words ain't worth the paper they printed on. You got me fucked up. It's a lot of admission of a liability. We don't care about what with this word salad you giving us. He settled at the very last minute. You already at trial. Trial was only gonna be a week to 2 weeks long. You a week to 2 weeks long of clearing your name. Who do you think you are kidding by saying he settles this without any admission of liability? Bullshit. Bullshit. You settled this with all kind of admission of liability, in my opinion. You were already at the trial. You were about a week away from clearing your name if you were innocent. Why would you settle now? You have months and months and months and months, pretty much years to settle. but you settle right when the trial about to start, when you're a week away from clearing your name, and you think this bullshit response by your lawyer is gonna mean anything. He settles this without any admission or of liability. Shit, you settled it because he know he lied. Let's continue. Dixon brought the lawsuit under the New York Adult Survivors Act, which revived the window to bring sexual misconduct claims for 1 year, regardless of the statute of limitations. In a statement, she said she hopes her work advocating for the law helps to bring us closer to a safer music business for everyone, she added. In a world where good news is often hard to find, I hope for survivors that today is a ray of light peeking through the clouds. Dixon, in a lawsuit filed in New York federal court, accused Reid of digitally penetrating her in 2001 on a private jet and again in a car the same year. After she started to avoid him following the incident, she claimed he retaliated against her by embarrassing her in front of others or otherwise being curt and unprofessional, ultimately forcing her out of the industry. The filing of the lawsuit followed accusations from Dixon made in 2017 that Russell Simmons, co-founder of Def Jam Recording, raped her and that Reid harassed her, forcing her out of the music industry. Simmons denied the claim. Around that time, Reid, excited about the top job at Sony's Epic Records, after he was accused of sexual misconduct by an assistant. Dixon, who contributed to hit songs from West, Whitney Houston, and Aretha Franklin, said her career was thwarted due to retaliation and health issues she continued to suffer as a result of the assaults. This shit sounds like a nightmare. This shit sounds like a nightmare. The deal averts a trial in which some high-profile names were set to testify, including John Legend. Oh, y'all, do y'all know who delivered Trump the letter from Diddy when Diddy was trying to kiss Trump's ass? Do y'all know who delivered the letter? We're going to talk about that after this L.A. Reid shit. So stay tuned. Unless y'all know, I don't think y'all gonna ever guess who delivered Trump that letter for Diddy. And then Trump threw it in the nearest lake. But we now know who delivered the letter. And it's gonna surprise you. But let's continue. According to the suit, Dixon suffered ongoing harassment in the form of demands from Reid for her to wear skirts and high heels, as well as daily invitations to meet in his hotel room. Their relationship allegedly turned hostile when she refused. The suit alleged that Dixon's promotional and recording budgets were slashed and that her song demos and artist auditions were constantly and consistently rejected. On one occasion, when she brought West in for an audition, she was allegedly berated in front of the staff about how bad she was at her job. Dixon brought claims for alleged sexual battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress, among others. Drew has been one of the most courageous and outspoken supporters of survivors of sexual abuse. Her advocacy, including her instrumental role in advancing the Adult Survivors Act, has helped shift the balance of power in the music industry, creating a path to justice for survivors. This is just shameful what women and some men have had to go through in this industry. It's shameful. But they're not going to stop coming at L.A. Reid now. He ain't out of the woods yet. Because if he did all this to Drew Dixon, 10 times out of 10, there are more Drew Dixons out there. And now that she has got some form of accountability from him, and I'm sure it was a hefty check because he waited to the last minute, the very last minute. So I know it cost him a lot. And the figure will come out. I don't care how much they try to keep it down. The figure will come out. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you know who delivered Trump the letter for Diddy, groveling and kissing ass to try to get a pardon, which was shut down. But put a 1 in the chat if you know who gave the letter. And shout out to all my Spotify listeners, my Apple listeners. You always hold me down. Keep those 5-star reviews coming in. I appreciate them. I need to continue to be 5 stars on Apple. So if you're listening to this podcast, if you haven't rated it, take your 5-star. Give me a 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. Let's keep it going. But let's put a 1 in the chat if you know who delivered the letter to Trump asking for Diddy that Diddy wrote to him. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't know. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't know. 1 in the chat if you do know. We about to cover that. I thought this was a crazy bit of information to come out. Oh, Fire Glory, you missed that one, huh? Okay. Yeah, somebody said Donnie McClurkin is going to settle his case as well. I believe so. So, from the U.S. Sun, Diddy's plea to Don. Mike Tyson hands Trump personal letter from Diddy begging for a pardon as disgraced rapper languishes in a hellhole prison. Insiders claim the heavyweight boxer handed President Trump the letter during his visit to the White House all the way back in November. President Trump confirmed last week that Diddy, 56, had asked for a presidential pardon through a letter, but did not say how he received it. Diddy was jailed for 4 years in 2025 after being found guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now those close to Iron Mike Tyson claim he was given the pardon letter by one of Diddy's inner circle and asked to deliver it by hand. A source said Mike Tyson had a meeting with one of Diddy's closest confidants, and he handed him a letter from Diddy. He asked what the letter was and was told it was Diddy asking for a pardon from Trump. Mike admitted he was feeling nervous about it, but agreed to take it to the White House when he visited. Mike said he handed the letter to Trump and did exactly what Diddy's team asked of him. It wasn't something he was expecting when he met with them, but Mike did what he was asked. The Sun has contacted Mike's representatives for comment. Now, the Sun first contacted the White House regarding Mike taking Diddy's pardon letter to President Trump on December 9th. An official spokesperson did not deny Mike took the letter, but said that his position had not changed on a pardon for Diddy. In a statement, they said any media reports on a Diddy pardon are not accurate. The president, not anonymous sources, is the final decider on all pardons. Of course, last week, President Trump confirmed he had received a letter from Diddy and told the New York Times that he had asked him for a pardon. When asked about the request, he said it came through a letter and confirmed that he was not considering a pardon. Mike, who was the undisputed world heavyweight champion, from 87 to 90, previously said he wished Diddy all the best. In a 2024 interview, when asked about him, Mike said, "I wish him the best in life. I wish him the best." In the same year, a video of the pair from 1998 went viral when Diddy was sitting next to Tyson and he was looking all uncomfortable. Y'all saw that. So yeah, Mike Tyson is the one who delivered the letter. Oh, side note, for those that were on my social media that were saying that the Venezuelan stuff had nothing to do with oil. I hope y'all read the new article where they said we have basically forced them to deliver us, I don't know, like 30 to 40 million tons or some crazy number of oil, some crazy number. So if it had nothing to do with oil, it's kind of ironic that we got articles out here saying that a lot of oil is being delivered to us from there or demanded. This is from CNN. I'm not even going into this, but Trump says Venezuela will turn over 30 million to 50 million barrels of oil. And that was 7 days ago. So that was like literally immediately after all this went down. But for some reason, those say it has zero to do with oil, but immediately 30 to 50 million barrels of oil was turned over to us right after we took over the president, whatever we did to the president of Venezuela. I don't even want to get into that. But yeah, so for those that say it had nothing to do with oil, there's an article for you to read. So CNN, New York Times, PBS, The Hill, CNBC, I mean, literally every publication you can name. I said it had a lot to do with oil. And it appears I was on to something. As I dug, there's no the reason why there's no update, no real update on the Davis situation is because they've already said it looks like he's going to be charged, but they got to go through this indictment process. And they were saying February, March is the soonest that the grand jury is going to meet to even bring down the indictment. So until then, there's really not much. There's no update. So the update is we really just got to wait until this grand jury meets again. They say as early as February to decide the fate as far as bringing charges to David. So the update is we kind of just gonna have to wait until that happens. Nothing really to update until then. And I'm sure they're gonna keep, now that they're pretty much about to charge him, I'm sure they're gonna keep everything quiet until the grand jury does its thing. But C-Tuck says, and the built refineries for them all, I guess Trump said him and his homeboys gonna strike oil one last time. I guess this time he did it literally. That's coming from C-Tuck. I haven't seen much about, hey, Tabitha, yeah, I haven't seen much about the missing girl in DR. Y'all will have to probably send me something on that. I just haven't seen much new information on it. And so, you know, I don't just make up stuff, so I don't want to just say stuff that I'm just hearing. I just haven't had any solid sources give up any new information at all. I don't know why. I don't know what the cover up is or why is it like top secret, but for some reason it is. By the way, Aaron Hall is still missing. For those that have been in tune, Aaron Hall is in this lawsuit about him and Diddy doing stuff with minors and wild sexual lawsuit. And ever since the lawsuit came out, Aaron Hall has disappeared. He still is gone. But we got to talk about something, y'all. And I'm gonna need y'all. If anybody has any more information on this subject, let me know. I'm gonna just tell you what I'm hearing, and it sounds crazy. You know how all of a sudden Ray J got pneumonia and we haven't heard nothing since? I don't know what's going on with Ray J and this pneumonia, but if you remember, I don't know if it was like over the weekend or end of last week, Ray J has definitely been hospitalized with pneumonia. Now, you know, people is like, what the hell is going on? Is it the Diddy pneumonia that we've been hearing about allegedly? That many people believe took Kim Porter out of here. Diddy pneumonia almost took Albie Shore out of here. This is all alleged. We waiting for the truth to come out. But I'm hearing from multiple sources. It's been hard for me to find more information on this, though. So take this with a grain of salt and do some digging on your own. Because I've heard multiple sources say this, what I'm about to go into, but I haven't been able to find like my own information from my sources or from sources I'm familiar with. But I've heard from multiple sources that Bilal has pneumonia. If you don't know who Bilal is the young man, not a young man, he's older, that worked with Will Smith for 40 years and Jada Pinkett Smith for 30 years. If you know that, if you realize, he just recently came out, did an interview with Tasha K. He spilled all kind of beans on Will Smith and all the freakiness that's been going on and all the assault he has experienced. And he blew the lid off of the Brashear Gray situation. And by his claims, he said Diddy and Will Smith took advantage of Brashear Gray. He was right there to see it. I don't know. He claimed that it was an attempt on his life. He also claimed that Jada Pinkett told him if he didn't shut his mouth, they would make him disappear. It was an explosive interview. Well, they are saying, as of yesterday, Bilal mysteriously has pneumonia. Has anybody in this chat heard about Bilal having pneumonia? I've had like 3 different people tell me, and then I went to YouTube, and there's a YouTuber, I forgot his name. I mean, because I've never followed him. Somebody pointed me to his page, and he was saying that I guess he has a relationship with Bilal. He was saying everybody pray for him because Bilal has just mysteriously got pneumonia. Like I said again, I am trying to dig through my own sources or some of my people who I normally get my information from. I haven't been able to get it from there. But I have had multiple people on multiple platforms say that Bilal has pneumonia. And if that's the case, if he does, that would be all-time strange. It would be it would be a hell of a coincidence. A hell of a coincidence if right after Bilal comes out with all of this, after he comes out with all this information on Will Smith, Diddy, and Jada Pinkett, if after he comes up with all this information, he gets a mysterious pneumonia. Something about that stinks to me. That don't smell right. Something fishy. I'm going to do some more digging and try to figure out and find out more about it. But something ain't right. Something is not right. What do y'all think it is? Do y'all think it's a coincidence? Do y'all think it's something behind it? Let me know in the chat, y'all. I'm over here in disbelief. And now Ray J has pneumonia. And ever since the report came out about Ray J having pneumonia, I haven't heard shit or nobody talk about it. I ain't see no get well wishes to Ray J. I ain't see Brandy come out and say nothing. I haven't seen anybody in the celebrity world even speak on that. Have y'all heard any celebrities or anybody? Did y'all see that? We started talking about this mysterious Diddy Monia, and the whole stream just shut down. It has never literally ever did that before. Like not like that. Like literally the whole stream shut down. And it said this stream has ended. There is something huge brewing, y'all. This never happened. I've had my internet didn't go out. My internet is strong. As you can see, we haven't had any video problems because I'm feeding straight through the iPad now. So I've eliminated all of the video issues if you haven't noticed. And then we get to talking about this Diddy Monia, and immediately the stream shuts down. Y'all know we've had technical difficulties before. I've never seen it do this. I've never seen the literal stream just shut down and it says this stream is ended. Because that has nothing to do with Wi-Fi. With this LA Reid settlement, Bilal having pneumonia, Ray J having pneumonia, it's some crazy shit on the horizon. Tracy says hers had an error and said retry. Elise says sure did, Flo. They are watching us. They are definitely watching us. Angelique says that's crazy. Let's keep going, but I've never. We've had plenty of technical difficulties. I've never had that happen, ever. That was literally scary because I'm like, hold on. Why my whole stream shut down? That has never happened before like that. If it's my Wi-Fi, it'll just say lost connection. If my Wi-Fi was messing up, it would just say lost connection. I know what that looks like. But to immediately stop and just say your stream has ended, it's definitely some bullshit going on. They definitely watching. And my Wi-Fi is strong. But let's continue. Let's continue. Let's wrap this between the settlement. Between the settlement with LA Reid, that is about to bring more. That is going to bring more cases. Trust me. Ray J having pneumonia. If this story about Bilal having pneumonia is true. We are in for a wild ride, y'all. Angelina's not green anymore. Put one in the air just for the craziness that's going on right now. If you're part of the Puff Puff Pass crew, put one in the air for all this craziness going on. Shout out to the Breakfast crew. Shout out to the Wake and Bake crew. But the Diddy Monia is going around, y'all. For those who were following the Chris Brown $500 million defamation lawsuit, it's been dismissed. A judge ruled that the investigation discovery followed proper journalistic standards in its 2024 documentary about domestic violence and sexual abuse allegations involving Chris Brown. According to Complex, on January 12th, the judge dismissed Brown's $500 million defamation lawsuit against Warner Brothers. Discovery and Ample Entertainment, the production company behind Chris Brown, his history of violence. The singer filed the lawsuit about a year ago, claiming the documentary was filled with lies. Brown's complaint focused on a woman featured in the documentary who claims Brown raped her in 2020 on a yacht owned by Diddy. Brown denied the allegations and argues the woman's story had inconsistencies. He also claims she left out important text messages when she reported the situation to Miami police. The judge dismissed the case under California's anti-SLAPP law, which is meant to protect free speech and stop people from using lawsuits to silence journalists. Under the law, Brown needed to show the lawsuit had at least some merit, but the judge ruled he did not. In the court order, Judge Colin Lees said he personally watched the entire documentary and believed it presented both sides fairly. He also said the documentary included many of the same inconsistencies Brown pointed out, including the text messages. Brown can appeal the decision if he chooses. So Chris Brown lost that one. The $500 million lawsuit, he lost. Just reporting that to y'all. But y'all, in 2026, we already got an absolute brutal documentary that hit the ground running in 2026 on Diddy, The Reckoning. We got L.A. Reid settling a lawsuit that he's been trying to say had no merit forever at the last minute when he was only a week away from clearing his name if he was innocent. But he settled. Many are saying for a lot of money. We will find out, trust me, how much money it was. We got Bilal in 2026 has come on many outlets speaking about Will Smith, Diddy, and Jada Pinkett's criminal activities when it comes to the sexual deviance. And now we got Ray J and Bilal allegedly. I know they say Ray J had pneumonia. Allegedly, Bilal, I'm still trying to verify that, but there's a couple sources and some YouTubers saying that Bilal has pneumonia. 2026 is about to be a hell of a year. I have an explosive interview coming up, and it seems like it's perfect timing. Because this shit is heating up. Like, it's heating up to the point where I'm even getting a little nervous. Or I don't want to say nervous, more anxious. I'm anxious to see how this next couple weeks pans out. I'm anxious to find out, did Bilal really have pneumonia? I'm anxious to find out what is going to be the update on Ray J. I'm anxious to find out if there are going to be more lawsuits coming for L.A. Reid and how he's going to handle them at this point. You can't settle them all. Once they start piling up, you're going to have to figure something out. We also going to find out what's going on with David. 2026, man. It's a hell of a fucking year. Morris says, Gerald, sorry if I said the name wrong, says that Tisa Tell claims he gave her a settlement more than Cassie's settlement. That would be crazy. We know Cassie's was like $30 million and up. But if he get, man, you give up that type of money, you know you guilty. Like Tracy said, 2026, the year of truth. Buckle up.
Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, baby. Giving you these thoughts, views, and opinions, making sure backsides covered, no Diddy. Shout out to the Wake and Bakers and the Coffee Crew. From YouTube to Spotify, I love all my subscribers. Can't forget about the trolls in the comments. Thank you for putting extra eyes on the content. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter.
Let's get the amounts in the chat, y'all. Let's get the amounts in the chat.
8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in. Yeah, it's the Flow Show. No filter. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, tap in.
And as always, I love y'all. But I'm